Bitcoin mining is the best way to earn passive income, bar none. But a lot of people want to sell you a dream, or they want to hype you up to mine these things called altcoins or other cryptocurrencies, or better yet, I call them Bitcoins. Today we're going to be breaking down the best bang for buck Bitcoin miners in 2025. And I'm not just some lame dude living in my mom's basement talking about some shit I read on the internet, because I live this. I've been building my own mining farm for years. I just put another 50 grand into expanding my mining farm, rerouting and adding additional electricity. That basically gives me another 1,200 amps of single phase electricity, bringing me up to a total of 2,600 amps of electricity. That's a lot of juice. I've been running about 100 miners, and I got my eyes set on getting that up to 200. But this video is not really about me. I just wanted to let you know that I don't talk it, I live it. There's publicly traded Bitcoin mining farms worth billions and billions of dollars. That means you can't just waltz into this haphazardly. I got the playbook to be successful. So let's run through the best miners to buy now and why. Looking at hash rate, power consumption, mining efficiency, and the most important number of all, the cost per terahash of Bitcoin mining power. Check it out, we're on mining now. They break down mining profitability. These are all ran at 7.5 cents per kilowatt hour, which is my average rate on the mining farm. We see all these hydro models, and they really make me envious of three-phase electricity. You need three-phase electricity to run the hydro models, okay? As well as the immersion specific models from Bitmain and the T21 by Bitmain Antminer series. If you look at that, most of these other miners are fair game. However, I would typically assume that if you see hydro HYD anything, that is probably not going to be something you're running on a smaller or even potentially medium scale mining operation. Let's say we categorize this. A couple of these are easier to speed run. If you have three-phase electricity, you should just simply be looking at the hydro models. They are some of the better bang for buck and better efficiency around. If you're looking at immersion and you have three-phase, the S21 immersion and the S21 XP immersion models really shine there, as well as the T21s in air-cooled, or actually they've been performing well underclocked in immersion, but I think it's due to the fact that they're underclocked. I do not like immersing any of the S21 series miners. For me, the best immersion model for Bitcoin mining, which is liquid cooled in immersion fluid, like our whole gray immersion mining shed here out here on the farm, that's been our test bench for all that stuff. There is an absolute king right now, bar none, the Canon Avalon Miner A1566i. It's the immersion specific model, 249 terahash a second at a whopping 4,500 watts of electricity, coming in at 18 watts per terahash of efficiency. Pretty good bang for buck, under $20 per hash, but you just drop it right in out of the box. It runs well, it hashes hard, it's everything you could ask on that front. I've been really impressed with that. And once my older S19 models fall further out of efficiency, where they're just burning more than they're earning in Bitcoin mining, I'm looking to switch over my whole immersion mining farm to immersion specific models by Canon. If the A1566 is still the best model at that time, then that's what I'm looking at. If they come out with a 1666, well, then that's what's on my agenda. If you want the most efficient air-cooled miner in the world, it's simply the Antminer S21 XP, but it comes in at a big premium for that. If you want the best bang for buck, you're looking at the Bitdeer SealMiner A2, the T21, the S21 Plus, and the entire latest generation of Canon Avalon miners, and they've got some heavy stock in the US, so if you're worried about tariffs increasing or getting hit by them or anything on that front, definitely something to think about and consider. Topping the charts, BitAxe Touch and BitAxe Gamma. We've talked a lot about the mini Bitcoin miners. I just want to highlight them. It's really cool with all the BitAxe bros and everyone else involved in the BitAxe project, with open source mining hardware, Bitcoin mining hardware, and open source Bitcoin mining software, and chart topping efficiency. No, it's not a ton of hash rate. No, it doesn't make a bunch of money per day. But where it does shine is basically solo mining, which is what I do with all my mini Bitcoin miners. which you can see them all hashing away here. We're doing an upgrade to the farm yesterday, so that's that huge dip. If you're interested in bid axes, I highly recommend that you check out Power Mining. They make these in-house, and they've worked day and night to become the leading manufacturer in the bid axe game. If you are seeing these bid axes being sold, to be honest, they're probably the ones making them. Furthermore, they're making these in Europe with strict quality control. They're not like the cheaper Chinese ripoffs of these. And I don't just mean a Lucky Miner. I mean, they're also ripping bid axes because they're open source. And they've dropped their price to be even more competitive. And we've got the best in class coupon code ever to share with you, code VoskCoin, to get that price down even more. They ship quickly. I get it quickly from them from in Europe. And I'm not trying to sound like I'm shilling it or whatever, but I mean, I've tested 10, 20 different, bid axe variations and models and manufacturers, and they're the best. Anyway, check them out. And if you do want one, please support the channel with our link. What are your odds of hitting a block anyway? 1 in 10,000 over the next year, or 1 in 4 million chance every day with the bid axe touch? Check out our full review video on that one. Let's say you buy an Antminer S21XP. 1 in 64 chance every year, 1 in 23,000 daily. So spending $6,000 something for a shot at earning $300,000 in the hardest currency ever known to man. But let's bring it back to the miners, move on from the solo mining dream, and look at some devices that can earn us realistic passive income every day by pool mining. Mining on a mining pool basically means that you pool your hash rate with a bunch of other people or other miners, and you get paid consistent, reliable results every day. For example, you can see I've got 40 Bitcoin miners at 6.5 petahash, and with that, I'm mining about 0.0033 Bitcoin per day, which is something like $300 a day. 285, 310, 311. I crunched some numbers and let's look at these. The BitDeer Seal Miner A2, Canon Avalon Miner A15 XP, and there are other A15 series similar. Ant Miner by Bitmain, S21 Pro, the T21, and the S21 XP, and the S21 Plus. So, really different prices in here. All the way down to 3,000. Some of the Canon miners actually come in at a bit of a better value, more towards 3,000. Mid threes, mid fours, and knocking on the door of $7,000 per machine. Only miner I can't touch on effectively today is going to be the BitDeer Seal Miner A2 Pro. This is very new. People aren't even taking orders for these currently. To put it into perspective, the A2 has been teased all year, and we're actually getting ours today, which I'm very excited about. After accounting for electricity on that device, about $5 a day. So that means I'm spending $6.71 in electricity. It's mining about $12 a day. So I'm profiting $5.15. Here's the big dilemma though. When we look at these numbers, when we crunch the data, how much of a premium is higher efficiency worth, right? So when you look at efficiency, it's your mining hash rate against your power consumption. It's hashing harder for less power. It's like better MPG for a car. You go farther, spend less money. How much is 3 watts worth? I can buy nearly 2 BitDeer Seal Miner A2s for the pricing of these XPs. All of this pricing is taken from Coin Mining Central at the time of recording this video. So this doesn't factor in our coupon code VoskCoin, to save some coin. If you enjoy the content, please support us and use our link and consider ordering miners there. We've worked with Coin Mining Central for years. It's been a good experience, and they've got everything in stock ready to order that we're talking about, from bid axes to Canon mini miners to the BitDeer to the A2 to the S21 XP, the Pro, the Plus. You get it. We're just finishing up editing our S21 Plus review, and this is where it gets a little crazier. And they do have an incoming price drop on the S21 Pro, from Bitmain generally in the market. Maybe that hasn't hit the resellers yet. That gets it a lot closer to the S21 Plus, is what I've been seeing, reading, hearing, whatever. But the S21 Plus is the latest model. Out of the box, I like it less. I had a problem where it crashed day one. However, 235 terahash a second, 3,900 watts of electricity, 16.6 efficiency, 3850. This is a miner that's really priced and going toe to toe with the Bitdeer Seal Miner A2. And this is getting 16.5 joules per terahash or watts per terahash of efficiency, which is what I consider to be the standard of the current Bitcoin mining generation to be. 16.5. If you're above the average efficiency, right, then you're above that 16.5 number. Now let's run through these miners a bit more nuanced, a bit more analytical. Let's talk through the different versions and why they're better or not. And what am I looking at? So if you're a VoskCoin subscriber, you may have seen some of our recent videos. I spent over $30,000. I think it's basically like 42 grand worth of S21 XPs. It skyrocketed my Bitcoin mining farm hash rate. And I was looking at a lot of metrics, nearly all-time low hash price. The miners, the S21 XPs were trading close to their all-time low in prices. And I was just finishing up the first piece. I don't have it all buttoned up and tied together, but of the mining farm expansion. So I wanted to expand. I wanted to utilize that expansion I just spent a lot of time and money on. And I wanted to invest in latest generation efficiency to give myself a longer runway. VoskCoin's unique advantage in mining isn't my electricity rate. It's 7.5 cents per kilowatt hour. I'm kind of probably like the average rate for a mining farm. It's not high, it's not low. The good news is there's a lot of different miner models that I can turn a profit with on Bitcoin alone, let alone all the other shitcoin miners out there. We go all the way down here. I mean, S19 XPs are still turning a profit for me at nearly $2 a day. It's too bad they always break. At least they did in immersion fluid. For me, at the current prices, network difficulty, block reward, all the Bitcoin mining network data, as long as the miner is under 28 joules a terahash or watts per terahash of efficiency, I earn more than I burn. So you just need to figure out your electricity rate and run the numbers. Let's say you're paying 10 cents per kilowatt hour. Well, that's a very different picture. Look how red everything becomes. You have to go all the way up to 21 joules per terahash or watts per terahash of Bitcoin mining efficiency, or basically the 141 terahash per second model of the Bitmain Antminer S19 XP, to be in the green. And it takes a huge chunk out of your daily profits. Miners that were pulling several dollars a day in realizable profit are now just earning a couple bucks. Thankfully, we got solar in the game now, which is changing our dynamic. Granted, this is our pilot array, but I've got bigger solar dreams. It's where I want to turn my head next. All right, so I just added the A15 into the equation because it does come in at a much more competitive price per hash. And what we're giving up for that is less than 1 watt of efficiency comparing A15 XP to this A15 model. So this is what I'm looking at. There's multiple trims here. You can get this all the way down to 2655 at 185 terahash a second. Is 20 terahash really worth $300? Maybe it depends on your situation. A really interesting miner here in this equation is the T21. And basically you can swap on the S21 power supply and you can underclock it a little bit and run it as basically a cheap S21. Which, by the way, if you don't know this, it seems that they've kind of quietly phased the S21 out, and the S21 is simply going to be replaced by the S21 Plus. But you never know with these miner manufacturers. They started reproducing the old L7 recently because Dogecoin mining was so profitable. And that's a miner from years and years ago that they already have multiple successors created in the market. So there's that. But my point here is basically looking at cost per hash against efficiency. So what comes in here at the best cost per hash and efficiency is going to be the T21. The best cost per hash period is going to be the A15 series, and specifically just the A15 or 1566 Canon Avalon. Looking something that strikes that balance in between, it's going to be the Seal Miner A2. The best efficiency by far If you all you care about is max hash, best efficiency, you want the best machine air cooled right now, it's the S21XP. With discount codes and stuff, you can knock a couple $100 off these prices. And most miner resellers are more apt to give a dollar discount than a percentage discount, because that percentage could really start to scale on a miner that's so expensive like the XP. So that discount carries a heavier weight on these smaller miner prices. So I've got 226 in there at 3,600. It's actually 228. And the 234 model consumes 3730 watts, so it might be a little bit lower on the 228 model. So with the VoskCoin discount code, you can see this gets me down to 3450, not including potential shipping and taxes here. And that's between $0 and $200 per miner normally. And all of these prices ignore that aspect. So looking at 3450, and it's not exactly fair to compare this versus the other ones undiscounted, but this gets me nearly basically $15 per hash. So for me, I'm gonna get the A2 today, and I'm gonna mess with it. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna see. This is a new miner manufacturer with some old names in the equation. This is unproven, lower warranty support, lower parts availability. So I don't want to be too quick to just jump and get a bunch of these and then they end up being huge duds. That can absolutely financially wreck you. So I'm going to check this out. I'm going to think about it. I'm going to go from there. But looking at the pricing, even though I haven't loved the S21 Plus out of the box, after the initial hiccup, it has been working fine. I cannot get brains to successfully load on it, but they do say that they support it. Maybe they're still working out the bugs to make that easier to deploy on that front. When I did install that aftermarket firmware on my S21 XP, I was able to drop the efficiency from 13.5, or I guess it would be increase the efficiency, even though it drops the number, to 12.5 watts per terahash. Some of the time, on some of them, it almost is like silicon lottery type, like GPU mining-ish era. So I have some things to think about. I do want to expand a little bit more. I'm pretty strapped at this point, strapped for cash. But I personally think that the real bull run hasn't really hit yet. And if it does hit, miner prices are going to be exorbitant. And to put it simply, I'm just out. I'm not buying machines in a bull run. However, the thing I don't like is that Bitcoin is pretty bullish as is. Like, you look in the echo chamber of crypto and everyone's crybaby, and they forget that, oh man, Bitcoin's down all the way to 80,000, 90,000. Oh, it's not trading over 100. Dude, you understand how like crazy these prices are? This is nearly a $2 trillion asset some days. Okay. I think Bitcoin's here to stay, and there's just going to be a big premium for Bitcoin mining because of that. I mean, why do you think that people spend so much on real estate, even though your actual return percentage year over year isn't astronomical? It's because it's a good bet. It's a safe bet. It's historically like just been a great ride. The home price value goes up, rent revenue goes up, among other things. If Bitcoin goes parabolic, these miner prices are going to go up. The assets of these mining rigs that I own and hold will be going up in value. I could turn around and sell them and realize some of those gains. The daily mining profitability will increase as well. I utilize a mine and hold strategy, so the coin that I mined will increase in retrospect, vastly increasing my daily mining profitability in retrospect, assuming all these good, great, green, bullish things happen. That's where I'm at. That's my breakdown. That's where my head's at. I'm Vosk here on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. This is our CBMO, our Chief Bitcoin Mining Officer here on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. That'll be none other than Super Cutie Tales Vosk. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know your thoughts. Which miner are you buying and why? Is it different? Is it something we didn't cover today? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Or what's holding you back from getting into Bitcoin mining?